Of the table is Ambassador Aziz Mekwar, who's been here for nearly a decade and has done an extraordinary job representing Morocco in the United States. And our prominent guest is Minister of Foreign Affairs Taieb Fassi Fihri, who has been involved in Moroccan foreign affairs for some decades, and I think we remember him perhaps most significantly for the role he played in organizing and negotiating the Moroccan-American Free Trade Agreement. So I will turn the program over to him, and after that there will be questions. I ask you in the questions to be brief and succinct, and we'll move as fast as we can.
Thank you, Mr. Zotman. Thank you. Thank you very much to be here this afternoon. I am here in Washington for another visit, and I can say today that this visit was very fruitful. Fruitful because we decided to establish a new strategic partnership between Morocco and USA with a clear vision that this partnership have to be action-oriented and looking to the future. You know that Morocco and USA have a long-standing relations and ties, very fruitful, but now we decide to go forward of this friendship and to try to work together for the benefit of our two people and for the region, the stability and the progress in all the region of Maghreb. It's also an important visit because it's happened during this specific moment where in many Arab countries, people, youth, express their strong desire to have a better future. In this country, it's a revolution like in Tunisia or like in Egypt. In other, there are protests. There are still today some difficult and delicate issues. Libya, we are all concerned by the evolution in this Maghrebian country. And we agreed together, US administration and Moroccan one, that it's a real hope for this Arab Spring. But there are also still today many challenges and many risks. In this context, we decide to work together, and I invite the US administration to establish not only a new vision for Arab world, but new mechanism of cooperation and dialogue. And this invitation, I launched it also to the European Union, and I hope that like it happened at the beginning of the 90s for the Eastern and Central European countries, there will be a coherent and complementary action plan to accompany this evolution to realize the success of some transition, but also to avoid some difficulties. The difficulties exist, and the difficulties, it's not only some counter-revolution dimension, it's also a possibility for Al-Qaeda, for the Maghreb Islamists to polluate this transition. And also we want to avoid that these aspirations of youth, of women, be capped by others, be capped by some conservatives, Islamists, and then we will have to avoid this possibility. We talk about the Maghreb, we talk about the relationship between Morocco and Algeria. Let me remind you that unfortunately the borders are still closed between Algeria and Morocco because our neighbors decide to not open these borders. We don't really know why, but it's important for the Algerian people and Moroccan people to look to the future and to try to create a new environment in a total conformity with the aspiration of the two peoples. The Maghreb is a necessity, and the Maghreb is also can constitute a good response to not only some challenges like Al-Qaeda's activities in our neighborhoods, in the south of Algeria, in Mali, in Niger, in Mauritania, but because Al-Qaeda now expand their activities geographically in all Western Africa, but also are more activist, not also in kidnapping, but also in terrorist actions. In this context, I note positively the statement just made by Secretary Clinton about the Sahara issue. And she confirms, once again, the position of USA. USA under the administration of Bill Clinton, USA under the administration of President Bush, and under the current presidency of Mr. Obama. In this context also, I note positively that she was very clear about the autonomy proposal presented by Morocco in 2007, and she said that this autonomy proposal, this initiative, is credible, serious, and she added today that it's a realistic proposal. Realistic proposal, this is the word using by the Security Council resolution. And she said also that it can allow to the population in our south to manage their own affairs in the total dignity. Then we can say that there is a real, frank, positive support to the initiative presented by Morocco as compromise to then resolve this dispute and then to can work together for the benefit of people of the Maghreb. We talk about some African issues, and here too Morocco can play and continue to play not only at the bilateral level between Morocco and many African sub-Saharan countries, but also in the context of some triangular operations. This is some preliminary conclusion, and I am open to any questions or observations.
Thank you very much, and we'll take questions. Yes.
I'd like to
identify yourself first, please.
Actually, Morocco participated in Paris and that conference for the International Alliance for what's going on now in Libya, and we just would like to know what Morocco has decided to do. What role Morocco is going to play? It's going to be a military rule. It's going to be just a logistic rule, and also what's the Arab League position and what's going on in Libya? Are you supporting the airstrike, or because we have heard that Mr. Amr Moussa has some kind of clarified his position until now. Are we against the airstrike, or are we just going to be, giving Muammar Gaddafi more time, so you're going to buy more time and also kill more innocent people?
Fine, thank you.
Libyan crisis is a very delicate issue, and we can say that the position of the Arab League is clear. There is no doubt vis-à-vis this resolution, and thanks to this resolution adopted in the security at the Arab League level, the Security Council decide to take this appeal from the region and then adopt a Security Council resolution 1973. This resolution, as I mentioned many times during the last days, binding all the international community and all countries. And each country have the right to see if it can contribute in a manner or another for the implementation of this security. This security talk about the necessity of a ceasefire. This resolution also said that it's very important to protect the civilians using all necessary measures. But these resolutions talk also about the humanitarian dimension, which is very important, talking about the health and the situation of thousands of people. And at the end, which is also important, this resolution talk about the political process. Morocco participated, it's true, to the Paris conference last Saturday. And during this meeting, I talk on behalf of the Kingdom of Morocco, saying that each country, it's depend on its sensitivity, it's depend on its solidarity, it's depend on its possibilities or means, can decide to contribute or not. I remind you here that Morocco decided to send a medical team which is very active since now 3 or 4 weeks in the borders between Libya and Tunisia, and that Morocco can continue to contribute humbly in the context of the humanitarian action.
My name is Kishida with the Press Japanese News Wire Service. President Obama clearly told the purpose in Libya is to remove Gaddafi regime. Do you agree with that?
Libya is a partner of Morocco in the Maghreb